Hey guys, it's Miss Wiesner, and this is your new video lesson on solving two-step equations with integers. So if you don't have paper and pencil with you right now, go get it and come back and join us on the video. Remember, when we're doing video lessons, you need to copy down the examples and the practice problems where it says you do, because you need to practice these just as if we were in class. And if you're not going to start watching the videos, then I can put these into an Edpuzzle and you can do them that way. But I don't want to do it that way. So just watch the videos. Okay, we already have done two-step equations, but they didn't have integers. So these that we do now will have integers, and from looking at the lack of response from the quiz that I posted Friday and was due yesterday, I think we have an integer problem. So I'm going to keep going over these integer rules, and I did offer another option for you to do. It's a Google form quiz on one-step equations with integers, because you have to know how to do one-step equations with integers in order to do two-step equations. So as you remember, doing two-step equations, they have to be solved in two steps. So it's going to have an addition or subtraction in the same problem as a multiplication or division part to it. So there's multiply or divide paired up with addition or subtraction. So we'll go back over these integer rules again. Los Angeles, LA, is in the United States. So L is like signs, you add and keep the sign. Unlike signs, you subtract and take sign the higher number. Now, since we're going to be dealing with both types, adding and subtracting and multiplying or dividing, you need to know or remember your multiplication and division rules. If your signs are the same, your answer is positive. So positive times positive equals a positive. Negative times negative equals a positive. Positive times negative is negative. Negative times positive is negative. So different signs, it's a negative that goes with your answer. And division is the same. They have the same rules as multiplication. Okay, so you need to write down this first example. Actually, there's two that you can see right now. But if you write down negative 2d minus 2 equals 28, that's the one we're going to work on first. So remember, you watched the Math Antics video on this, and he talks about going in the reverse order of operations. So instead of doing multiplication or division first, we're going to take care of the addition or subtraction first, because right here is multiplication, here is minus 2 or negative 2. I love that you guys are starting to recognize that minus is the same thing as negative. And then we've got to figure out what d is. So that's our variable. Another way to look at it is that negative 2 is kind of stuck to the d. So it's going to be harder to get rid of this one. So we're going to start with this 2 here. Okay? So what's the opposite of minus 2 or negative 2? It's adding 2. So showing your steps, especially now, is going to be very, very important. So I'll show you some ways to remember what you're supposed to do. So when I don't know, I might have been doing this with you guys, I don't know, but when I was doing it with the other class, I know, I would do something like this. I would say, look right here. I have a positive 28 and a positive 2. So I have like signs, so I'm going to add. Okay? And keep the sign. So what's 28 plus 2? It's 30. Alright, so since I messed that up, I'm going to rewrite it, which you don't have to do, but because you probably won't be messing yours up. Now, you're going to divide both sides by negative 2. So D equals, and here again, I'll use my pointer this time. You're looking at this right here. 30 divided by negative 2. So now I'm going to switch to my multiplication and division rules for integers, and my signs are different, so my answer is going to be negative 15. Okay? Now, this next example, I hope that you've written down what I've written down and worked this problem out. So now we're going to work out this next one. 9s plus 42 equals 15. Now this one's going to be a little bit different. So the first one we did really didn't have any integers until the very end. So I need the 9s, that means 9 times s, plus 42. So I'm going to take care of the adding 42 first, which that's negative 42. I'm going to do that to both sides. That cancels out. Now I'm going to use my pointer instead of messing up my problem. Now I have 15 and negative 42. So, since this was part of my addition and subtraction part, I'm going to use those rules, and I'm going to say, ask myself, do I have like signs or unlike signs? Well, I have unlike signs, so that's the US part of it. So unlike signs, you subtract and take the sign the higher number. Well, you can subtract in your head if you want to, or you can go off to the side and say 42 minus 15 is 27. So it's going to be 9s equals negative 27, because I have more negatives than I do positives. So I subtracted, got 27, and then the last part of that rule is to take the sign the higher number. Now I'm going to move to my addition, my multiplication and division rules, because 9s means 9 times s. So the opposite of multiplying by 9 is dividing by 9. So use my pointer again. So if you're looking right here at negative 27 divided by 9. So my signs are different. So that means my answer is going to be negative 3. So S equals negative 3. So I hope you've written down those steps. Some people like to watch it first and then go back and copy it down. Either way, it's fine. Okay, here are 2 problems for you to do that are very similar to the ones that I did as examples. So you need to copy these problems down, show your steps, work them out, and then come back, pause the video, and come back and see how you did. Okay, so for number 1, or the first one that you're doing, it's negative 4 times z minus 14 equals 2. So I'm going to do the opposite of minus 14, which is adding 14 to both sides. So I have negative 4z equals 16. Divide both sides by negative 4. Z equals, so I have positive 16 divided by negative 4, so my signs are going to be, my signs are different, so the sign in my answer is going to be negative. So the answer to that is negative 4. If you didn't get that, go back and see if you can figure out what you did wrong. All right, and on the next one, 5 times x plus 37 equals 22. So I have multiplication, and then I have adding 37. So I want to do the opposite of adding 37, which is negative 37 or minus 37. Here again, if you want to go somewhere else and subtract that out, you can. Maybe you can do it in your head. That's fine. I'm not taking any chances. 5x equals, now I get 15, but remember, these are unlike signs, so I subtract and sign the higher number. So I have more negatives than I do positives, so it's negative 15. Divide both sides by 5. That cancels out. X equals a negative divided by a positive is a negative. Negative 3. Okay, here's another example that an example that I'm going to show you will work together, so you need to copy them down, and then one for you to do. So this first one is negative 7x plus 35 equals 0. I like to show these because sometimes people just see a 0 and think, oh, and think it's easier than it actually is. So I'm going to get rid of the plus 35 by doing negative 35 to both sides. That cancels out. Bring down the negative 7x equals, now what's 0 and negative 35? Now think about it this way. 0 is not positive and it's not negative. So I have different signs, or you can say, well, I only have one sign. It's negative 35 plus 0, which is negative 35. So now I'm going to get rid of the negative 7 by dividing both sides by negative 7. So x equals, so I have a negative divided by a negative, so my signs are the same, so my answer is going to be positive 5. You don't have to write the positive sign there, but you can if you want to. Doesn't matter. All right, so you do this next one, and then come back and see how you did. So push pause, work it out on your own sheet of paper, and then come back. All right, on this one you have negative 6x plus 24 equals 0. So you're going to work it out exactly like the one we just did. I'm going to use a different color. Like my pink. So I'm going to get rid of the positive 24 by doing minus 24. Negative 6x equals negative 24. Because negative 24 and 0 is negative 24. So divide both sides by negative 6. X equals positive 4. That's it. I hope you got it right. Okay, here are two examples, and I need you to write these down and work them out, along with me. If you want to watch me work them out first, and then you can copy them down later. But remember to copy these in your notes. Okay? Please. Okay, so this one is a little bit different. It's x divided by 3 plus 14 equals 10. So I have division in my problem. But see how that x is kind of stuck to that 3? That means that 3 is going to be a little bit harder to get rid of. So I'm going to take care of my positive 14 first. Or you can think about it as doing the reverse order of operations. I'm going to take care of addition and subtraction first. Either way you want to think about it, I got to get rid of that 14. So what's the opposite of adding 14? Minus 14 or subtracting 14. Now, bring down the x over 3. And then now, this was a result of an addition problem, so I'm going to use my addition rules. Do I have like signs or unlike signs? Well, my signs are unlike, so I need to say 14 minus 10. I can do that without doing it on the side because I'm so intelligent. So 14 minus 10 is 4. And is it going to be positive or negative? Well, since 14 is bigger than 10 and 14 is negative, then my answer is going to be negative 4. Now, I'm going to do my last step, which some places want you to show that the reason why you're multiplying is because multiplication is the inverse of division. So they want you to multiply by 3 on this side and multiply by 3 on this side. I say, let's make it easy and just circle it. So x equals, I have a negative times a positive, so my signs are different, so my answer is negative 12. Okay, let's look at this next one. I have x divided by negative 5 plus 26 equals 11. I'm going to get rid of the addition by doing subtraction or negative, however you want to think about it. Now I have unlike signs. I have positive 11 and negative 26, so I'm going to need to subtract, and this one's kind of easy to do in my head. So that is 15, but it's going to be negative 15, isn't it? And then x over negative 5. So now I'm going to just circle these two because I'm going to be multiplying. And since my signs are the same, my answer is going to be positive. And 15 times 5 is 75. Well, you know what? When in doubt, work it out, right? Sure is. I knew it the whole time. Okay, these are two for you to do. So you copy them down and work them out. Hit pause while you're working them out, and then come back and check and see how you did. Okay, on this first one, we're going to, they're just like the ones that we just did. Okay, so I'm going to take care of the plus 23, which is minus 23 to both sides. So I'm going to use my addition rules. If the signs are the same, you're going to add and keep the sign. If they're different, if they're unlike signs, you subtract, hit the sign the higher number. Well, they're not the same, so I'm going to subtract. I can't write up here very much. This is where most of my scratches are on my iPad. 13 minus 6. That's ugly. I can't do that. That's horrible. Let me do this down here. Sorry about that. 23 minus 16. That's 7. So I have x over 2 equals negative 7 because I had more negatives than I had positives. So now I'm going to do my last step, which is the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So x equals, and my signs are different, so my answer is negative 14. Hope you got that one right. All right, so in this next one over here, I have x divided by negative 4 plus 29 equals 25. So I'm going to get rid of the positive 29 first by subtracting 29. So I'm going to bring this down. X over negative 4 equals, Well, I have 25 and negative 29. So I have unlike signs. So I'm going to subtract, take the sign of the higher number. Well, 29 minus 25 is 4, and that's going to be negative. Ooh, don't you dare think the answer is 1. No, 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 it's not 1. Because the inverse of division is multiplication. So x equals 16, and since my signs are the same, my answer is positive. Okay, so we're done. You'll have some practice problems to do as an assignment, and refer back to your notes. If not, you'll have to come back to this video and watch it again and listen to me all over again. So I wouldn't want to do that. So I hope you understand this. If not, you can ask me for a private Google Meet. But until then, peace out. Love you, mean it.